Before we start the video, this video is not made for kids. It's for older fans of the show and adults only. Now, enjoy the fucking video for fuck's sake! Flora and the Station Master's pet. Great Waterton was in excitement. There was to be a new mining museum opening up in the town, giving a history into the town's tin mining heritage. Like places like Cornwall on the mainland, Great Waterton had a mining history of minerals such as tin and silver, before those mines closed down and the miners emigrated to Latin America, where there were more plentiful supply in those regions. Flora was working the line, and she had also got Hasty Hannah in order. She doesn't do any tricks on Flora. The station master at Great Waterton was an interesting fella. His name was Mr. Ross Pope, and in his office was his pet chinchilla, Bob. Bob was cute, fluffy and curious, and lives in the station master's office in his cage. He can get up to all sorts of mischief in his cage, but he likes his owner and Flora. Flora likes him too. You're so cute, Bob. One morning, Flora came into Great Waterton with Hannah and a van of exhibits for the mining museum. She saw the station master looking a bit pained. "What is wrong, dear?" "Ugh," groaned the station master. "I've got a lot of paperwork I've received relating to the opening day of the museum and the special trains to be held." "Oh dear. Isn't it as simple as just making sure the trains are running, like me?" "I'd like to say so," groaned the station master, "but the Fat Controller requested these papers." I think, dear, he might have a reason. Anyway, how is Bob?" Bob's fine. I'll just go and bring him out." So the station master brought Bob out. And at that point, James arrived with the goods train. And he saw Flora with Bob. "What is this little rat here? You're a tram engine, not a pet owner, Flora." "That's not a rat. That's a chinchilla, James. He's the station master's pet." "Chinchilla? Oh, them. Didn't me driver say that people wanted them for their fur to make fur coats?" "Well, they did at one point, and they nearly became extinct because of that. But nowadays, people keep them as pets instead." "Bah! He's just another rodent." "He's not just any old rodent, you know." Stanley came in. "Tidmouth, we have a problem," he said. "James is being a stuck-up boiler again." James was cross. "All I was saying, Stanley," he said huffily, "that this little rodent on Flora here is more useful as a fur coat than a pet to the station master. Besides, hasn't he got all his shit to do as a station master?" The station master had had enough of James's insults. "That's enough, James," he said. "Bob doesn't need to hear any more of your insults. Go! You're all clear." "Pah!" said James, and wheeshed steam. "Oh, look what you've done. You've frightened Bob. Now, scram!" James left without another word. The station master then put Bob back into his office and into his cage. Flora was still cross that James had frightened Bob, but then she cheered up as she left the station. The station master spent all day doing the paperwork, and Bob decided to go to sleep. But then somebody came in. Mr. Pope? Yes, answered the station master. The Fat Controller has the documents and more exhibits coming to the mining museum. He wants you to have a look at them. The station master couldn't believe it. Bloody hell! I've got too much fucking paperwork as it is, and now this! Get me a cola, coffee, or whatever. I need to focus. And for God's sake, don't disturb Bob. James has already done so this morning. You don't have to speak to me like this, but fine. I'll bring a coffee machine. Thanks, replied the station master. Flora was worried about the station master and how much paperwork he was having to do on that day. But she knew it was for the new museum. That night, the station master was in a hurry to get home, having done all the excessive paperwork he was given. He gave Bob some fresh hay and water and left in a hurry, not locking up properly and leaving Bob's cage door open. Soon, Bob became wise to this and began to explore. The next morning, the station master came to the station building, shattered. He then noticed the door was slightly open. Oh, bugger, he groaned. Then he went into his office to find that Bob had disappeared. Oh shit! Bob! He cried. The station master panicked. He began to look everywhere to see where Bob was, but then Flora's fireman came in. Ross, I think there is something that you may want to look at, he said. When the station master came over to Flora, there was Bob in her cab. The station master laughed. You know what I think, said Flora. I think you would like a little buddy. Come to think about it, yes. That sounds a good idea, replied the station master. Chinchillas are social animals, and it would be a good idea to get another chinchilla. An old lady who was walking past overheard and came over. You know, my daughter has a couple of chinchillas she's looking to sell. If you ask her nicely, she may give you one. The station master responded positively and asked for the number. A couple of weeks later, the station master came out of his office when Flora arrived. He had something new in his hands. Flora, I would like you to meet Dave. Dave was another chinchilla. He was almost exactly like Bob, except he was beige. Flora couldn't help herself. Ah, doesn't he look adorable? I like him. Flora was quick to make friends with Dave as well. A couple of weeks after that, it was the grand opening of the Great Waterton Mining Museum. The Fat Controller was present at the opening ceremony. He made a speech, and much to everyone's surprise, I would like to present the two guests of honour, courtesy of our station master here at Great Waterton, Mr. Ross Pope. His two pet chinchillas, Bob and Dave. Everybody clapped. Flora watched the ceremony from over the tracks and smiled when she heard the announcement and the clapping. The museum was opened and was a huge success, telling the story of the miners from Great Waterton. The station master still keeps Bob and Dave as his pets, and they still like to see Flora from time to time. Keep chinchillin', you lot!